Hi, I'm Nitya Martino, Art and Soul 108, Art and Yoga Therapy. And I want to say hi to everybody. I hope you're all doing good. So today I wanted to talk about the breath. As I had said in my previous video, I wanted to start sharing other yoga techniques besides asana. And in the Yoga Sutras, one of the 8 limbs of yoga is pranayama. That's the second um, of the 8 limbs, asana, pranayama. So today we're going to talk about pranayama, and that is control of the prana. So a lot of times it comes in as breath, and it's really important that we take full deep inhalations and exhalations so we can expel the carbon dioxide that's in our body. I always get them confused, so I had to make a note. Carbon monoxide's not it. So, yeah. So I hope you're all doing well, and I'm sharing these practices because I really feel that as a yoga therapist, that working with the breath is so important for everybody. When we can control the breath, we can control our mind, and it brings us like really inward. So for those of you who don't know me, I've been teaching yoga for about 18 years now. And I love yoga, saved my life. So that's why I do it. That's why I teach it. And yoga therapy especially is a holistic practice. So it's not only poses or breath, it's also a lifestyle. So the whole lifestyle of proper nutrition, mindset, all part of yoga therapy. I like to incorporate the yoga as an aspect of doing art too, but that's a video for another day. And I had done the video on the art last time. So I'm moving into a paradigm where I want to share these simple practices. I want people to be able to use them in their toolbox. For a while, I taught stress management for the Valley Hospital in New Jersey. And the thing I used to say about the breathing was that you always have it in your toolbox. So it's always with you. You don't have to remember to pack it. It's always there. So I think it's a really cool thing to learn how to use the breath and to really honor the breath. You know, we have to honor our breath. When we're not breathing properly or we're not getting enough oxygen, it compromises our immune system. Our cells don't generate as well. I mean, think of what happens to people who stop breathing. Um, you know, even for a few moments, if you stop breathing, you get dizzy, lightheaded, that type of thing. So the body needs oxygen. It needs to be well oxygenated. And they also say when your body's really well oxygenated, that it helps to fight disease. Yeah. So breathing is life. Breath is life, right? You've all heard that before, I'm sure. So I like to start off with asking you all to get nice and comfortable. Yeah, so get nice and comfortable. Find a comfortable spot. And for today's practice, we're going to be seated. I'm going to be doing some more videos, but for now we're going to be seated. There is a practice I'll be doing on the 3-part breath where I'm going to show you how to do it lying down because people have an easier time when they do lie down doing this. If you're new to this, if you're not new to this or you've done it before but you haven't done it in a while, today we're going to do seated. Seated is another position that we should meditate in. We shouldn't lie down when we meditate. I am also trained as a certified as a meditation instructor, and I'm doing a teacher training right now. It's actually my third Yoga Sutra teacher training. The Yoga Sutras is like the yoga philosophy, and they talk about when we still the breath, we still the mind. And we're able to go more inward. We're able to get a better glimpse of our true self. And I feel that's really, really important to be and sit with yourself. I prefer not to use music a lot of times when I teach privately or doing my own practice, because what happens with the music for me is it takes you outward, and the mind likes to take us away from whatever it is that we should be stilling our mind with, right? The mind, this is how we train the mind. We focus, the breath is one way of meditating. Today, we're just going to work with the breathing as a practice. And you can work with it as a meditation for yourself too. So the breath we're going to work with today is really simple. So simple. The one thing I'd like to say is if at any time during the practice you become lightheaded, dizzy, or nauseous, just discontinue the breath. And that would happen because you're not used to taking in so much fresh air. When you really oxygenate the body, it's like when you go to the dentist, they give you oxygen, you get like, woohoo, so you want to really focus on keeping yourself in a calm, relaxed state. So if anything like that happens, just discontinue, return to your normal breath, and come back to it at a later time. Okay? So that's very important. That's one reason you should always learn breathing techniques, breathing practices from a trained teacher, because not everybody tells you this. There's a lot of things I've heard that just didn't seem correct when they were happening to people. So always ask questions, always ask a teacher any questions you have. And after this video, if you have any questions, my information's in the description box on the YouTube channel, and you can connect with me, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions. I also work with people privately now, and yeah, that's it. So I guess you're all seated comfortably. Thought I'd talk a little while you got in a comfortable position. And you're just going to close your eyes and take in a gentle inhale through the nostrils. And you're going to exhale through the nostrils. Now, if you cannot exhale through the nostrils, which happens when you're first practicing, you exhale slowly through the mouth like a goldfish, like this, right? So you want to exhale slowly through the mouth, inhaling through the nose. And as you inhale, your body expands. The abdomen expands, the diaphragm expands. And when you exhale, you have contraction in the navel center. You can lift your pelvic floor gently. So it's like an accordion. It opens, closes, opens, and closes like a balloon. When you fill a balloon up with air, the lungs, for example, like a balloon, they expand the body, they press on the organs, they massage your internal organs. It's really cool, the breath. The breath is so cool, like you can do it whenever you need to. And you actually help to regulate your parasympathetic nervous system when you work consciously with the breath. We're going to move into another breath after this, where we extend the exhales, and that activates the parasympathetic nervous system even more. So you're going to stay with your breath. Just watch the breath slowly in through the nose and out through the nose, or the mouth, as I said a few moments ago, but slowly, with control. Feel your shoulders start to relax. Feel your spine start to lengthen, reaching through the crown of the head. Watch the body expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. Really soften your belly on the inhale. A lot of times we feel tension in the diaphragm region, which is a very emotional muscle in the body. It's the largest muscle we have for breathing is the diaphragm. So we want to relax it on the inhale, expands, contract it on the exhale. And we're just watching the breath. If your mind wanders, because the mind likes to wander, you're going to gently bring the mind back, gently and lovingly bring the mind back. And still feeling the shoulders relax, sitting tall into your sit bones. Whether you're seated in a chair or in Sukhasana, which is easy pose. Just watch the breath. And now we're going to gradually move into breath awareness with a count to the breath. So we're going to count Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, slowly as you inhale. So whatever you reach on the inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Remember, you're expanding the abdomen as you inhale, not holding your stomach in. And then you're going to slowly exhale to the same count that you inhaled. So if you inhale to Om 6, exhale to Om 6. I use the word Om instead of saying 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. If you can only inhale to a count of Om 3, just use 3. You always want to be comfortable. Never strain, never force. If you feel frustrated, this is a bit challenging, just discontinue the breath for a few moments. You can pick up with this when you're in a more relaxed state. Because sometimes when we stress over getting this right, because that's the culture that we tend to live in, people get frustrated. I want to do it now. Yoga is about practice and non-attachment. Two of my favorite things lately in the Yoga Sutras, practice and non-attachment. So now you're inhaling and exhaling to the same count of breath. If you have to cut back on the count or you want to add to the count, be mindful that you're comfortable, okay? Be comfortable. Listen to the sound of your breath. Watch the flow of the breath in through the body. And watch the flow out of the body. And the shoulders continue to relax. The crown of the head lengthens and the spine elongates. Sitting comfortably tall and erect. Your jaw becomes very soft. Your seat is very comfortable. And just follow the sound of my voice as I guide you into the second part of this. And remember, the key word is comfortable. Always be comfortable with the breath. So on the next inhale, whether you're counting to say maybe a count of Om 4, with the exhale, you're going to count Om 8. You're going to double the exhale. It's a 1-to-2 ratio, right? So 1-to-2 ratio. What that does is that activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system that helps us to relax. It actually massages our vagus nerve. And that's a whole nother story, but I just want you to focus on your breath. We'll talk about that after the breathing practice. So you can focus solely on inhaling to say a count of 4, exhaling to a count of Om 8. Now, if you find you can inhale to 4, but you're not able to exhale to a count of 8, what you're going to do is you're going to inhale to 3, exhale to Om 6, right? So you lower the ratio so that the breathing is much more comfortable. You'll get there, just don't force it. We want to do what we want to do. I want you to be where you are, okay? The longest breath that we should take is an inhale to 10 and an exhale to 20. And that does come, but it should be relaxed, feel natural, feel comfortable. And again, never strain and never force. The breath actually works on your central nervous system. So that's why you want it to be comfortable. You're still expanding on the inhalation and contracting on the exhalation. You can also draw your navel center back, lift your pelvic floor at the end of every exhalation. And then relax the belly, relax the pelvic floor before you inhale. That's very important. Relax the belly and relax the pelvic floor before you begin your inhale. Feel how relaxed and full you feel on your inhale. Feel the prana moving through the body. Prana is life force, life energy. I've said before, prana comes in to the body in many forms. Come in through energy, through Reiki. I do Reiki also. I'm a Reiki practitioner. So prana comes in many forms. Today we're using it to come in through the breath. So you're inhaling to say Om 4, exhaling to Om 8. Hollowing and lifting the belly, lifting the pelvic floor. Again, if you feel lightheaded, dizzy, or nauseous, please discontinue the breathing practice because you're taking in a lot of oxygen. And if you're not used to full, deep breaths, or your breathing has been constricted in any way, this is a lot of breath. Like I said before, some people, I remember going to the dentist years ago and they give you oxygen and you get very lightheaded. As you start to practice this and you start to take in more oxygen, you heal the body. Body needs oxygen to survive, to thrive, not just survive. We want to thrive. So long exhales, relax the body, release carbon dioxide. And then this breath calms you. Long exhale, activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And make sure you're relaxed, comfortable, and bring the mind back if it wanders, because the mind likes to wander. I'll be talking about that in a meditation video I have planned to do. So we're going to stay with this for a few more moments. If you need to discontinue the breath, as I've said several times, just let the breath go Let the practice go. And just watch your breath. Your eyes are still closed. Your awareness is within. Just watching the flow of the breath. And if you're able, still continue with the double exhales. Feel your shoulders relax, your jaw relaxes. The upper body just feels like everything's just melting away, nothing but pure bliss and relaxation. Still lifting the pelvic floor at the end of all the exhales. And relaxing the body as you inhale, allowing that inhale to massage all your internal organs. It's a great way to get an internal massage of all your organs. Your lungs press against your heart, press against your small intestines, your transverse colon, your ascending colon. When you breathe deep, you press down on your diaphragm, expanding the lungs, massaging all the internal organs. How cool is that? Internal massage. And take a few more breaths like this. And very slowly at the end of your next full exhale, release this practice, release this breath, and just allow the breath to flow on its own. See what the natural flow of breath is for you. And again, if the mind wanders, just bring it back. You can think of all those things later. Just stay with the breath. We're training the mind. This helps to train us for future practices I'm going to be sharing. Sit in stillness and watch the breath for a few moments. Still relaxing on inhales and gentle contraction on exhales. You want to relax the belly so you can relax the diaphragm. And when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. Are you back? How did that feel? Pretty awesome, right? Imagine this beautiful, beautiful, simple, yet very intricate process of breathing. How we can control the mind, we can heal the body when we have full, deep, clean breaths, full, deep, emptying exhales. We release toxins. We release the carbon dioxide, and the plants live off of our excrement. Carbon dioxide that we exhale is nothing more than excrement, but the plants feed off it. So it's a very symbiotic relationship that we have with nature. It's really, really cool. I don't know who designed all this stuff, Source, whoever you believe Source is, but I think it's pretty interesting, you know? And just imagine the mechanism of the breath helps to regulate our mind, our body, and in turn that regulates our spirit. It brings us more inward. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I love teaching breathing to people. If this is new for you, I've said this for years in my classes I've taught. It's very simple, but it's not always easy. So it's not always easy. And that's, sorry about that, that's not uncommon. If you found yourself inhaling and your stomach was going in, and exhaling and you were blowing your stomach out, that's actually something called paradoxical breathing. So it's very common, and we do these practices to train our body what the proper way to breathe is. A lot of times we get this paradoxical breathing because we've had operations. I've had 5 abdominal surgeries, so I really have practiced breathing quite conscientiously over the past 18 years. It's really helped me a great deal. I always say yoga saved my life, and that's why I teach it, and that's why I share it with people. And it's really not uncommon to do paradoxical breathing, stress, especially if you have stress in your life. But nobody has stress in their life, right? That's unheard of. So you'll notice when the mind is having a hard time connecting to the breath, as I taught you this really basic, simple practice tonight, it's because we have to retrain the muscles. When I taught at the hospital, I used to tell people that the breathing machines that you put on, as I said, I've had 5 abdominal surgeries, so I know about being on those respirators and stuff. For you have to retrain yourself after the machines have taken over. The body forgets, and we have to retrain ourselves all the time. So I have to retrain myself a lot. If I'm going through a challenging time, a stressful situation, it's a little bit more of a challenge for me to get back into the rhythm of the breath I've taught you, and some other practices which I'm going to teach in the future. But the basic practice that we've learned here is key. Anybody can do it. You can teach it to anybody. The thing I find people, the most common thing with people is they inhale and they suck their stomach in. They exhale and they blow their belly out. So that's incorrect. You should be inhaling, expanding like a balloon. Exhale, contract like you're taking all the air out of the balloon so it gets smaller. Okay, so think of the lungs as balloons. So yeah, so that's the breathing practice for today. Just basic breathing with a 1-to-2 ratio. And what that does is it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm really, I feel very blessed to be able to share these practices with you and to serve you. I am currently teaching privately yoga therapy, creativity counseling I'm doing with the art and the yoga therapy. If you're interested in that, connect with me. My information for my website, my Facebook are at the bottom, and my Instagram. I am no longer on Twitter. Too many places. I'm just in a few places now, sharing the yoga, sharing the art, and sharing the creative energy that the breathing can bring you. I mean, you're oxygenating your brain. I always say to students, what happens to people who have gone into surgery and they stop breathing? It's not good for the brain. Lack of oxygen is not good. So breathe deeply. Use it often. You'll always have this in your toolbox. So if you have any questions for me, Nitya Martino, artandsoul108.com. Shoot me an email. Give me a call. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. I'm really happy to teach these. And one thing I suggest too, on a last note, do a little journaling. Take a little piece of paper and write what your experience is. Maybe you did breathing practices for 3 minutes. You don't have to do them for a long time. If you're just starting out, I don't suggest you do them for 15, 20 minutes. Just do them for 3 to 5 minutes. That's plenty. And then do small amounts through, do it through the day. So you might do a few minutes in the morning, few minutes in the afternoon. A good place to do it is maybe in the car before you go into work, in the car before, don't do it while you're driving, please. Do it in the car while you're parked at a traffic light. Take 2 or 3 breaths, right? Practice the long exhales. That'll really relax you. So thank you so much for joining me. Please like my channel, share my videos, and use these practices. They saved my life. So I'm going to keep sharing them with you. And I hope you find as much benefit as I have, because I'm really grateful to all the teachers I've worked with and that have taught me. And remember, practice and non-attachment. Any questions? Give me a call. Have a namaste. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Bye, everybody. Thanks.